Welcome back to the MíraLA podcast. I'm your host, Arianna Lemus. This is the second to last episode of season 2, and this week I am joined by Danitza Borges. From San Diego, California, she is transforming the way that we think about safety, connection, and legacy. With a background in law enforcement, she has witnessed firsthand the moments when people feel the most vulnerable. So she created ELYS, an innovative platform designed to make preparedness feel less like a fire drill and more like a love letter to your community. Her work is fueled by resilience, impact, and belief that technology should uplift us and not overwhelm us. Please welcome to the show, Danitza.
Hi, Arianna. So nice to meet you. Thank you so much for having me this evening. Thank you so much. I'm humbled.
Yes, I am so honored to have you and learn more about you, your background, and this wonderful app that will be coming out hopefully within the next week because this is December 15th that your episode is coming out and the app should be coming out. And after 5 years,
Mhm.
it's out in the world. And how are you feeling about that?
Um, Again, butterflies, like a ready to give birth. I've been in labor for 5 years, trying to birth and develop this baby of mine called ELYS, and being a woman in tech and and having all of these uncertainties and not coming from a tech background and having to kind of fly by the seat of my pants. You fly the airplane even though you don't have the instructions. You just get into that cockpit and do it. And it's exciting to see it come to fruition, to go from an idea to a bit of progress and then having to take a step back a few times and making the mistakes and falling and getting up repeatedly. And then finally knowing it's this close, it's very surreal.
Mhm. What is your message today? What is your intention that you want to leave with the MíraLA community? Like, how can we support you?
Uh, oh, wow. It's great to be part of this community. How can Mira support me? I want every single female Latina, especially, it's my culture, it's my heritage, it's my community, to have this at the ready. Because as women, we are the gender with the biggest target. We suffer mostly at the hands of domestic violence, sexual assault, um, murder by family members. There's so much trauma that we bear, not only as women, but also women in our community. I want to make sure that
Mhm.
every woman has that hot button at their phone. So then on their phone and at the ready, in cases of what if situations or emergency situations, we're able to locate you because we're GPS tracked. We're able to contact family members. We're able to make sure your last message gets out if something completely horrific happens. We want to make sure that we stay connected and we have a positive message going out instead of any type of negative, horrific event.
That's so incredible. I'm so happy that you're here on the show today.
Thank you.
With this app, I'd love to know in the last 5 years, what have been the highest highs and the lowest lows of the experience?
We'll start with the lowest lows. The lowest lows is I come from a law enforcement background. I knew very, very minimal about tech. And when I first started building the idea, just building the idea, and speaking to different types of coders and developers and tech managers, I didn't know the jargon. I didn't know the lingo, and I hired the wrong team, and I
Mm,
lost a lot of money doing that. And so I had to step back, and
mm,
I had to know when to cut my losses. Like, okay, I have to cut my losses now and regroup, refocus, re-earn, make more money, and start again. And
mm,
that was a major blow coming from a different type of industry where I hadn't
mhm,
failed. And so this was very humbling to me. That was my lowest.
mhm,
My highest, once we started beta testing and I was getting all of the feedback from, from the users, and the positive reviews and the positive feedback that I was getting and how it could help them and their family members. That's what it's all about. It's how we protect our community. That is my main goal.
Mm-hmm. And what is your goal a year from now? What do you hope that ELYS impacts? Like, how do you hope your app impacts the community in years' time?
I have very, very big aspirations. I'm a huge dreamer that makes things into reality. That is my goal, is to have 100,000 subscribers for just the hot button within 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to be the face and the forefront runner of a female of Latin descent who built something in technology that was humanitarian based. Love to be on the cover. Like, who wouldn't want to be on the cover of Forbes or Times or Bloomberg? That she did it. We made it, and we're protecting people, and we're protecting humanity, and we're making sure that the most important messages, which are your last ones, go to your family members and to your community, and your legacy continues to move on and move forward.
Mm-hmm. So if someone's listening right now, how can you just walk us through like how they use the app and why every woman should have this app on their phone?
Okay, so say for instance, we all have this gadget. It's connected to our hand almost indefinitely. Um, you go in and we are a subscription-based company. I will tell you the app is very, very inexpensive. I actually priced it less than a bag of chips. It's $2.69 a month
Uh-huh.
to use this app. I didn't want to break people financially. This is, again, it's my gift to humanity. You set up an account, you download the app on an Apple or Android, and you pick your designated person. You can have up to 5 individuals, and you can leave a pre-scheduled message where you can suspend or delete at any time. Or you can do a message in the moment. So I tell all of my friends, I'll give you examples on when I would use the app. If I am going for a hike, hit the hot button, tell us your route, tell us what time you left, tell us what time you expect to be back. If nothing happens, it's in your control. Just swipe left, delete, or cancel, suspend the message. But if something does happen, unfortunately, if you're a female over the age of 18, you can't be considered a missing person right out of the gate. Law enforcement doesn't work that way. They'll say things like, oh, well, maybe she left somewhere, or maybe she didn't tell you her plans. Things like that. So within 72 hours, that message goes out to your loved ones. We have GPS tracking. We're
Mhm.
able to locate you. Maybe there's something in the background. That's just one of the situations. I'll give you another one. Uber and Lyft. There are reasons why both ride-sharing companies have thousands of lawsuits in regards to stalking, sexual harassment, sexual assaults. If I'm getting into one of these rideshare vehicles, I take this phone and I start recording the license plate to that car, and I get into the vehicle. And if the person in that vehicle, the driver, has no ill intentions, you know what he's going to do or she's going to do? She's going to be like, hey, hi, because she's on video. But if somebody had bad intentions, they're not going to want you to videotape. And that's what you want. I
Mm,
want you to be like, that person did not want me to videotape. I'm getting out of this car. I'm going to trust
mhm,
my intuition and say, you know what? I have this tool here. Because if you did not purchase that vehicle, we had a situation where I was contacted by a family member who lost their child. She did not buy the ride sharing service. She never made it home that night. She went missing. Unfortunately, she was murdered. The sad situation about this was the ride-sharing company that was used would not release information to law enforcement or family members or attorneys because she didn't purchase the ride. So they have a privacy law. So it took a court 9, 10 months later to subpoena records because she didn't purchase the ride. Well, that person in the meantime is still out there doing ride sharing and looking for their next target. So we as women, we have to trust our intuition and know that we have to use every single tool at our disposal. Every tool. And ELYS hot button is just one other tool. One of many tools. But it's a tool that's needed. Our goal is that every female who joins is part of an ELYS family of other females. We need to start talking about those what if situations we have put ourselves in. Women who, we're allowed to go out to have a drink at a bar. Okay? We're allowed to be on dating sites. We're allowed to, but the problem is we also are the gender that is usually victimized in those situations. So my goal is anything that can deter is a success. And I know that my company will be successful when I start getting those testimonials from women on it worked. Then I have succeeded as an entrepreneur.
That's beautiful. So, getting to this moment in your life where you've created this app for humanity, for women, for protection and safety, what along your journey was the moment that everything changed for you, that you have went on this path?
I was in law enforcement and I was working for the state of California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, and there was myself and another female officer. And there was a melee on the yard, and melee is like anywhere between 200 to 300 inmates who are fighting amongst each other and sometimes fighting other officers. It's just how things are. And myself and that officer, we managed to get out safely and recognized by the governor at the time. But I had a newborn, about a year-old baby at home, and I had not managed to get myself out of that situation. My son would not have met his mom. He would have been put into foster care because I had no extended family. And he would not have known the sound of my voice, maybe an occasional picture here and there, but there would have been no reference or memory to me. And I thought, God, there's got to be a better way. There has to be a better way. And I let it kind of resonate a bit. And then fast forward 17 years, I'm still in the department, and my son goes off to college. And I thought, did I say I love you one last time to him? Can you possibly say too many I love yous? No, there's not a cap on it. You want to do that all the time. And so I thought, if something was to happen to me, does my son know my passwords? Does he know my bank accounts? Does he know anything about his inheritance or my benefits? Everything that you can imagine. And the answer was no. And so I said, there's got to be a place where I can leave these messages for him in cases of what if. And that's when the ELYS hot button evolved into like the ELYS library, where we can store messages and you can schedule them for your loved ones on certain dates. And they are released from my company after death per your instructions. So we're very excited to see when people get a happy birthday or a Merry Christmas from, an abuela. Can you imagine waking up on your birthday and your nana is singing you las mañanitas and you didn't even know it was coming? I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine the emotion you'll have. What a beautiful thing to have in your repertoire of memories.
Welcome to Orgasmica, a place where pleasure becomes medicine, where we speak without fear about sexuality, spirituality, and healing. I'm Virginia Novello, actress, producer, writer, tantric coach, and the creator of this space. This is a reminder that living an orgasmic life is not just about sex. Are you ready to live an orgasmic life? Because by pressing play, you already begun the journey.
Having a recording of my grandparents singing to me would be the thing I would cherish for the rest of my entire life. And I think this app is really going to give people that opportunity to feel close to the ones that are no longer with us in a very, special way. And I'm just so excited to see your growth and how you're really going to um, be one of the leaders that are
Mm,
part of
thank
saving
you.
humanity and having these beautiful memories that people can cherish for the rest of their days. I would like to know, what does it mean to you to be a woman building something in a field that is traditionally led by men?
No, mm, it's humbling. It's very humbling to be in these rooms and we can all say we want a spot at the table. We can all say that. We all deserve it. In the tech world, you know, we don't get funded. Females do not get funded, and females of color get even lesser funding. I think we're 0.7% who get funded, or I'm sorry, 0.07. We don't even get 1%. So if we're not getting 1% in funding, do you really think that they want us at the table? No, no, they don't. So we need to, one, build our own table and make sure that women, I'm very pro my gender. I love my gender. Women are building the tables, and women are seated at these tables, and women are inviting other women to sit at these tables, because it's going to take more than just one person building the table, one female. It's every woman has to be aligned. We have to do it better. Men have it down. They network differently than we do. And so that's what they have more opportunities, because they know how to play that game really well. And we as women, we
Yeah.
have to be better at networking and aligning and opening doors and not getting consumed with playing their game, but
Mm.
maneuvering our game and our strategy. Because it's funny you asked this question. I walked into a room and I was talking about my business, and I had a male come to me and say, "That should have been my idea." And I said, "But it wasn't. But it wasn't. It wasn't."
Wow. Mm.
Yeah. And that was,
That's
I couldn't believe it. And think of it like this. A woman would never go and say, "That should have been my idea." But a
mm,
man came to me, right? We're a little bit, I
mm,
think we're a little bit more tactful. So when I heard that, I was like, but it wasn't. And that
mm,
was the biggest compliment to me. That was such a
mm,
genuine compliment, because that told me it had
mhm,
success written all over it. If you're that
mhm.
bold to say such a statement.
Oh, yeah, but it's not even that you needed the validation. I think
Right.
it was more just the appreciation from a man, right?
Mhm.
Because I'm assuming he said it in a way with, like, admiration and not
Mhm. Yes.
jealousy, or was it?
Yes. It was very admirable. Yeah. It
That's
was.
beautiful.
It was really a beautiful way to say, "Oh my god, this is something so different in tech. This is so
Mm,
different." We're not it's not a product. It's a service. And I think
mhm,
tech has kind of strayed a little bit. Like the top 5 major conglomerates, the big hitters like the Bezos and the Musk and the Zuckerbergs and the Gates, Amazon's a big hitter. That's
mhm,
major, major. I mean, it's a service, but you're dealing with capitalism and you're dealing with goods. And I think women bring something different into the tech world, and I think we should be celebrated for that. I think we have a beautiful component to be nurturing and humanitarian based and loving. We bear children, and we have this warmth about us. And so I think that should resonate in technology as well.
yeah. Through this journey, what was a moment that you wanted to maybe quit, and what pulled you back?
Mm. When I hired the wrong team and I lost a lot of money, not a little bit, a lot of money. Um, I thought, maybe it's not in the cards. Maybe this is a sign that I'm not supposed to be doing this. If I'm rowing too hard up the stream here, this is not how I'm supposed to be maneuvering this business. And then I saw, it was really interesting. I kept watching the news and I kept seeing woman killed, woman missing, college student abducted, plane crash, COVID lives. And I thought, I came up with this idea, but it's bigger than me. This came from a higher deity, whether you believe in a God or you're religious or not. I'm just the vessel. This is
Mhm.
bigger than me. Something else is driving
Mm,
this. And I have to have faith to carry this through. This is so
right.
much bigger. So when you're carried by whatever entity or deity you believe in, you can't fail. You just can't. This is so much bigger.
When you describe ELYS as blending urgency and legacy, what was the personal moment that made you say, "No one is coming. I need to build this myself"?
Yeah. When you coming from law enforcement and you see the statistics of women
Mhm.
who are injured and women who are harmed and women being victimized, law
Mhm.
enforcement does their best, but they can't
Yeah.
rescue and save everyone. They can't. It's not even feasible to think they can. It's so important that my gender stays safe. I wish for the day, I hope for the day that I don't ever see on the news a woman killed at the hands of A, B, C, or D. A woman goes missing, a woman abducted, a woman human trafficked. I don't want to see that news. So if I don't want to see it, I have to be part of the solution. I have to engage against that system to change it. And I know no one's
Mm.
coming. So it's important. I can't pass it on because that's not my legacy. So I've got to do something in my lifetime to change it. So future legacies know what it's like for women not to be harmed.
Mhm. As someone who works in crisis and safety, how do you personally self-soothe when life feels chaotic?
How do I self-soothe? I meditate. I meditate. I journal. I pray. I pray. I Physical fitness is a huge thing for me, but I take time for quiet. I like the sound of silence in a world that's so noisy all the time, and we're getting constant information and tech and everything. I learn to appreciate the quiet, the silence. I
Mm.
have to have that in my life. At least a small part of my day has to be very quiet so I can block out the noise and listen to my own thoughts.
Mhm. I love that because I have journaled. I'm
Mhm.
trying to get better at it. I journaled last night. Um, it's the consistency, right? To be consistent and to spend time with yourself in solitude is not really normalized, or people don't talk about spending time with themselves to other people as much. Obviously maybe in like more intimate relationship settings, but I think it is so important to spend time with yourself and to heal and to reflect. What is one belief that you once held that no longer serves you?
Mm. Wow, that is an amazingly good question. I've never been asked that. I love it. Um, what what is something that I used to think? Oh, okay. Okay. I used to have this I used to have this overwhelming sense of belief that I could, especially when you enter in law enforcement, that I could save the world. That I could go in there and be this significant change to save the world. Now I know I can be a component of changing the world, but I need
Mhm.
others. I need others. Like, you can't do things solo. It's a village. It takes a village. It takes a community. It takes friends and families, amigos. I mean, everything. It takes everything. One, to
Yeah.
catapult you, to believe in you, to support you. It's more than just one person. You
Mm.
move mountains with many
Mhm.
people. You move a rock just yourself.
Mhm. How has working in law enforcement shaped the way that you see safety, connection, and human behavior?
Yep. We're really good at this gadget, right? We're really good at this. Like we have over 1 trillion messages go out every single day. But we need to really embrace our community. We have to build stronger networking connections, and we have to do it in such a way that people who have ill intentions or want to do harm stray away from that, because you have taken preventative measures. You have tools in that tool shed of yours, in that toolbox of yours that you can pull from to help you. Maybe it's a friend that you can call immediately because you're in a situation. Maybe it's the hot button because you don't want to worry people, but you have this weirdly weird feeling. Maybe you're catching a flight and you want to leave a message. We have the tools, because many perpetrators don't believe we have the tools. So we become very, very easy targets. And many times, as the gender that is victimized the most, we don't utilize all these tools. And we need to take a very proactive approach to utilizing as much of these tools to safeguard us and safeguard our families as possible.
Yeah. As you were talking, it made me think of all of the women that were part of the Me Too
Hmm.
and the victims of Diddy
Hmm.
and R. Kelly
Hmm.
and I was gonna say Bill Cosby. I feel like I'm naming a bunch of black guys, but like no, like there's so
Right.
many other men, you
Mhm.
know, Harvey Weinstein, Donald
Mhm.
Trump,
Yes. Mhm.
and your app is almost giving women the proof because there
Mhm.
is this collective group of people that have silenced women for many generations and decades and also continue to not believe them. What are
For
your
me,
thoughts around that?
so true. You go to these parties, you go to these events, you show up at Mar-a-Lago, you show up at, Jeff Epstein's. You're there. You can show proof you were there. I need a
Mm,
video. Show me you're there. Show me what you're wearing. Show me what you look like. Take a photo, because
mhm,
people will not believe you. And when you have
mhm,
certain men in power, it's even
mhm,
worse. Okay. It's easier for the victims to go silent because there's always that factor of, I'm not going to be believed. I'm going to be shamed. Yeah. As a female, I asked for it, or I knew what I was getting myself into. There's so many excuses that the system gives to not believe you. So
mm,
utilize these tools so that way you are believable. You were there. They can't say you weren't. What time were you there? You have something on your phone. We live in a world right now where dating apps, they're everywhere. I
mhm,
come from a world where You don't get into a complete stranger's car. You sure as heck don't meet a complete stranger in a bar like that. But you're setting these
Mhm.
dating sites up, and there's so much potential. So if you're going to a bar, turn on your tool, turn on the hot button, walk in, tell me what you're wearing, tell me the bar. Actually, go like this. Everybody's taking selfies and take a photo with the individual. Because if something happens, we have a starting point to locate you,
Mhm.
to say who they were with. That person can't deny that you weren't with them at that certain time. Again, utilize the tools you have. And it's not just for, those type of events. Yes, of course. But we live in a world of uncertainty. Plane crashes, car accidents, going.
Mhm.
I mean, I think the latest news was a teenage young girl at a fraternity party. There's so much potential for risk. Let's make sure that
Mhm.
we get messages out to either one, protect us, or two, have a decent goodbye to family members who you're going to leave behind, because we don't know. And the don't know for a parent is atrocious. We
Mhm.
want answers, and any way that ELYS can help, we're there to do it. We're so happy to be embarking on this unknown journey because we see so much potential on how it can be used.
Mhm. What was the most emotionally difficult part of bringing a list to life?
Yeah, when when you're building something like this, you know you're not going to make everyone happy, and you know there's going to be critiques and naysayers, and it took me a while to build that thick skin. It took me a while
Mhm.
to say, okay, I understand, but you have me mistaken. You have me mistaken. Whether it's in your thoughts, in your heart, in your being, you have me mistaken, because this is an app out of love. This is not an app to willfully harm anyone. It's quite the contrary. It's about messages and protection and love and reassurance and good things left behind. But you can't please everyone. So all you can
Mhm.
do is give the best product you possibly can to the best of your ability, and hope that people utilize it and not
Mm.
criticize it. At least if they do, it's very few and far between.
Yeah, I think that's really great advice. And I'm also like curious to know, like, when you have experienced those naysayers and people who have just a negative perspective on the app, what did you have to walk away from to protect your peace? And what does that look like?
Sometimes an explanation, it doesn't matter what that explanation is going to be good enough. If somebody has it in their ability to be anti whatever you're doing, whatever you're building, whatever your morals or values are, whatever, they don't align with you. And not everyone's going to align with you. We have to really know that. But
Mhm.
sometimes walking away, taking a deep breath, looking over at your family, looking at your pet, looking at the people who are supporting you, and saying, they're the words you need to listen to, not over here. Look at what you're building. Is it coming from a good place? And if your answer is yes, then you have to kind of look at the source and go, this is just another human being, another breathing entity, one of billions on the planet. Let it go. It's happening through
Mhm.
you, not to you. What they're saying is going
Mhm.
through you. Don't hold on to it. Let it go. It keeps going. And that's
Mhm.
okay. And they have a right to their opinion. That's fine.
Mhm. What is something that you're healing while you're also succeeding?
Mhm. Yeah. When you're building something like this and you're being pulled in many, many different directions, you have a tendency not to be there for family, or you have a tendency to give family, friends the reservoir because you're so tired. You had 12, 13-hour days. So I have to heal myself into saying, I have to be better. Like, I'm building this for my family and they're right here. So I have to be better in making sure that I'm here too. And I have to heal from that. I have to heal that the time that I'm taking to build something is taken away from the here and now. And
Uh-huh.
it's always that catch-22 when you're in business and you're an entrepreneur. Are you trying to do a life balance? I don't know if it's possible sometimes. All I know is that you try and you continue trying.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, Gina, who is
Mhm.
how we got connected for you to
Yes.
be on the podcast today and who has been an incredible sponsor to me this season as well, she says it's not about balance, right? It's about setting your intention and prioritizing your energy where you want to prioritize your energy. And if
Mhm.
some days or some hours it's work, it's work. If other times it's home with the family, it's home with the family or friends. Like, you decide, right? And you create a life around you that is able to take you or allow you that availability to do the things that you do love, right?
Mhm.
Um,
I
I'm
completely
curious to
agree.
know. I'm curious to know, what is one thing that people assume about you that is completely wrong?
Ah, okay, so I'm a very tall woman. I'm like 5'10", and I have a
Mhm.
very statuesque persona. And I think sometimes people see me and they think I'm this, because I come from law enforcement, I'm this pillar of strength all the time, all the time. Like, she can handle it. She can do it. It's great. And I think only my closest friends, people that I love very, very dearly, who know me so well, have seen the weakness, have seen the
Mm,
sentimental, emotional, self-doubting person. And those are that's when I know that how much I'm loved and how much I love other people in my circle, because you get to see all of it, and
mm,
outsiders get to see strength. And so sometimes that can work to a detriment. That can be a detriment, but other times I enjoy that I don't need to I can allow my closest friends and family to wrap their arms around me, and I'm not always this
mhm.
pillar of strength, that sometimes it's okay for me to rely and lean on others. And most people don't see me
Yeah.
that way. They see me as the person they lean on.
Yeah. And it's okay to be soft, right? I
Mhm.
know that for myself too, I very much have this, exterior that I'm happy and bubbly and positive and, things are working out for me. But, what people get wrong about me is that, like, there's a lot of things that are not how, um, are not perfect, right? Are not positive, but I don't focus on that. I don't
Mhm.
make it a point to talk about the things that are not going right in my life. Like, I genuinely like to share with people, like, the positive things that I'm doing because I wanna just motivate them, I wanna inspire them, and I'm not doing it out of ego, or I'm not, doing it to, like, make like, have people like, "Oh, look at me, like, look at what I'm doing," but it's just more so that whatever they wanna do, whatever they're passionate about, like, they should be just as fired up about it as well, right?
Right. And I think it takes I know, you radiate positivity. I love that. You radiate it. And it takes somebody like you, because imagine you're walking down the street and you're so positive, and there's another person walking down the street and they look at you and you're smiling, and they're like, "Okay, can't be that bad. Whatever I'm going through, she's smiling and happy go lucky." So maybe that smile, I always think people who smile when they pass you are like angels. It's like a wake-up call that you need to be smiling
Mhm.
back. They're here to
Yeah.
remind you. They're here to remind you that life's not that bad. It's gonna get better. It'll be okay. They're smiling. It's your
Mhm.
wake-up call.
I love that you say that because I very much think of myself like an angel. Like
What?
I want to embody
And that's okay.
I
I
want
wanna
to
see these wings.
I want to embody, you know, being an angel on earth. Like I've heard of the term like earth angels,
Yes.
and everyone that has met me knows that I will be there for you and be your cheerleader. And the only time that I'm not doing that is, if you kind of mess up or like you just kind of do something. But I will always meet people with love, and humility and compassion and empathy, like when I first meet them, because that's what we all deserve. And that's how I want to be treated.
I think it resonates with you. It definitely resonates, and that's that is isn't that what it's all about? I mean, think about it. If
Yeah.
you know, that's we're on this planet as strangers when we first land here. I mean, we're strangers, and we build these relationships, and we have family, and we nurture them, and people gravitate towards us, and people gravitate away. But what we leave each individual with, something positive. It's too easy to go negative. That's too easy. But
Mm.
to instill somebody with some positivity, compassion, and understanding, you know, when I leave people, I literally in my head say, I hope you make it. I hope you make it.
Mm.
Whether it's you make it safely, whether you make it in your business, whether you make something happen that day. Maybe you make a great meal. I hope you make it. Why wouldn't I want the most wonderful, precious moments for you? Why would I not want that? I think that's our essence, isn't it? I mean, how could we not want that?
Mhm. Yeah, I completely agree with that. That's amazing. This conversation has just really shifted my gears a little bit because I think you are a representation of like a true activist, right? You're taking your education background, you're using your passion and your tools and your resources. And even when you've lost, something outside of you, money along the way, it didn't define you. And you're
Mm.
here today to share your story and to help and serve and protect. And with everything that we discussed today, if people only remember you for one thing 50 years from now, what do you hope that it is?
She loved the people on this planet. Like she really loved humanity. She
Mhm.
understood what it meant to be human.
Mhm. Yeah. There is an artist that I did a documentary on. We're currently in post-production. She was on my podcast, as well, and something she always says is to leave people better than you found them.
Yeah. Wouldn't
And
that
I
be so
think
easy?
that and I think that's our true legacy for all of us, is to come to this earth to follow our personal missions, right? To
Mhm.
follow our truth. And although we're met with challenges and negative people and, you know, things that are not in alignment, we stay true to who we are and
Mhm.
what our message is. And this is why like creating MíraLA is so important to me, because it's like incredible women are doing incredible things on this planet. And I just want to be able to empower the next generation of women to know that they can accomplish whatever it is that they desire. because that is their birthright.
Totally agree. When I think of MíraLA, I'm going to remember this conversation. I'm going to remember your bright smile and your essence. And I'm going to say, MíraLA, because that's what it's supposed to look like. Take a good look. Don't just glance. MíraLA. Look at her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't
I'm
just
so
glance.
touched by that. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Last question.
Yes.
What has your journey taught you about the kind of ancestor that you want to become?
Yeah. I hope hundreds of years from now, remember, I dream big. I hope that a great-great-granddaughter says out of the blue, "Oh my gosh, do you know that that used to happen to women? And my ancestor made a difference, and it doesn't happen anymore." That's what I want.
That's love. That is pure love. And I
You're getting me all
just,
emotional.
right? You said it. But like, wow, what a world that would be. Oh, I just got like the most purest vision.
Mhm. That's what I want. That would be
I'm
like,
so inspired.
no love. MíraLA, MíraLA.
Danitza, wow, incredible first podcast virtual episode.
Yes.
Could not have done it with anyone else. Thank you, thank
Thank
you,
you, love.
thank
I'm
you.
so humbled. I'm so humbled and appreciative of you.
Yes. Please share with the audience ELYS's website, what it stands for, how can people find you, and I just want to be able to make sure that you get those 100K subscribers in 6
Yes,
months.
thank
We're
you.
manifesting. We're
We're
manifesting.
manifesting. You can find us on Instagram. We're under ELYS_legacy, ELYS. You can find us on ELYS, www.elys.cloud. That is our website. And we're on TikTok, also under ELYS_legacy. You can find me, Danitza Borges, on LinkedIn. I do respond. I am not one of those entrepreneurs that doesn't respond to you. I will respond. It may take me a bit, but I will respond. You can look me up through my name, and we're going to hit that ground running. Fingers crossed that we've got some great ads that are going to either stir the pot really bad and I'm in trouble, or we're going to make such an impact that people understand and get it. So we're excited about that, and that's launching within a couple of days. Please reach out. We have a mailing list as well. You can find it on our ELYS_legacy in our bio, and we're set, ready to go. Please join us in this movement.
Thank you so much. And
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I can't believe season 2 is coming to an end. It just means so much to me getting to interview women like yourself that are really making a difference. And I really hope that we can continue to be in each other's lives and meet in person.
Of
And
course.
maybe we'll do an ELYS MíraLA collaboration later this year or
I would
next year.
love that. I would love that, whatever you need from us. Thank you so much. I'm
Thank
so
you so
thankful
much.
for being on your show. Thank you.